Welcome to our video tutorial on constructions. Constructing an angle bisector, constructing the incenter, and constructing the inscribed circle. First, we're going to start with constructing the angle bisector. To do that, we take our compass, we put the point of the compass at the vertex of the angle. Then what we're going to do is make an arc that crosses both sides of our angle, just like this. The arc crosses both sides of the angle. We're going to focus in on those 2 points where the arc crosses the angle. Take our compass, put the point of the compass at one of those points. Try to be right at the point. Then we're going to make the compass a certain size, but don't change it at this point. We're then going to make an arc that goes towards the inner portion of the angle. And you see it right there. Now, keeping the compass the same size, that's the key. Move the point of the compass to the other intersection point and make the other arc so that the 2 arcs off on the side cross. We take the point where those 2 arcs intersect, we take the vertex of our angle, and we connect those with a ruler to draw a straight line. So do your best to make that straight line go through the very centers of each of those 2 points. I'm going to make it clearly a ray by putting an arrow. And what you should notice is that that ray splits our original angle into 2 congruent pieces. Hence, we have an angle bisector. Now, when we want to construct the incenter or the inscribed circle, we do that same process on each of the 3 vertices. So I'll start with this vertex on the lower left. Point of the compass at the vertex. I'm going to make an arc that crosses the 2 sides of that angle. Whoop! There it is. I'm going to move the point of my compass to the 1 intersection point, and I want this arc to be drawn out a little bit, so I'm going to make the compass larger. I'm going to draw the arc. Keeping the compass the same size, move the point of the compass to the other intersection point. Draw the other arc. Make sure you're aware of the intersection points that we want. We want this point right here. We want this vertex over here. We're going to take our ruler and go through the center of each of those points. That's our angle bisector. It's our first angle bisector. We're going to need 3 of them. Please always double check that it appears as though it actually bisects our angle. Okay, next let's go to the bottom right vertex. Point of the compass at that vertex point. I'm going to change the color here of our compass just so that you can keep track easily of what's happening. We're going to make the arc that crosses both sides of this angle. Then we're going to move the point to one of those intersection points. I'm going to make the compass expand a little bit more largely, and I'm going to draw the arc over here on the side. Keeping the compass the same size, that's always the key. Move the point of the compass to this other intersection point and make the other arc that will intersect our original. Take the intersection point here, take the vertex over here, and what we want is to use our ruler going through the centers of those points. Oops, I was off just a little bit. Try that again. You might need to do that. A little bit off again. Okay, we need the center of the point, so be super careful. Center of the point, that's pretty good. I'm going to leave it right there. Sometimes this program can be hard to be precise. There's our second ray. And notice when I look, it does appear as though that angle was split into 2 congruent pieces. Last but not least is the top vertex. Take our compass, put it up there. I'm going to move it over here just a little bit. We need to make an arc that crosses these 2 sides. I'm going to color these items this time. Let's go in green. So, make the arc that crosses twice. I'm going to take the point of the compass and move it over here, right to that intersection. Try my best to be right there. Come over here and I'm going to make the 1 arc. Keep the compass the same size, move the point to the other point, make the other arc. And then what we're going to do is take the point where those 2 arcs intersect, take the original vertex, use a ruler, and draw the line that connects those 2 points. Try to go through the centers of those 2 points perfectly. And what you should get is that those three lines intersect exactly at the same point. If it doesn't, look back at those angles. Make sure it appears as though all three angles were split perfectly in half. That point is called the incenter. To get the inscribed circle, we take our compass, and now I'm going to use a different color here. We take our compass, put the point of the compass at that point, the incenter. Now this is maybe the tricky part. You need to line this up so that if you were to draw an arc, the arc would just perfectly bounce off the side of the circle. That one wouldn't be good because I'm a little bit away. I need to make it just a little bit larger. Notice when I draw that, a little bit. Notice when I'm drawing this, I want this to be perfectly bouncing off. That looks pretty good. Now these are hard to be perfectly accurate, but if I spin this around, it's getting close to where I want it to be. Notice I've got close to the circle that goes through, that is centered, I should say, at the incenter, and just perfectly bounces off as we go. That's our incenter. Now you do have a little bit of wiggle room. I'll be somewhat flexible, but I should see that circle perfectly intersect off of one of the sides of our triangle. That's the inscribed circle based at the incenter using the angle bisector construction.